Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. I live another day today to continue this endeavor to share our common knowledge and experience with each other, and a small part from myself to be shared with all of you, especially the young Berhormats of environmental management and sciences. Here I am again, and thank you. I am honored to be here. I am also honored to have a few more subscribers for this channel, and I sincerely hope there will be more to support me in this work. I also would like to thank your attention, your time, and the questions that you have forwarded to me via email and also WhatsApp and some other forms of message that I received. Now, we are still in the middle of the Environmental Quality Act. I've not gone off the environmental law yet. We are still very much into the mantle of the environmental law of Malaysia. We are now in Environmental Quality Clean Air Regulations 2014, and we are today going to look into the asphalt mixing plants, stationary types of asphalt mixing plants, which is in the third schedule. Why? Because they are listed in the first schedule. All right, let us take a look again for those of you who pop into this channel without going through the chronology of how I have arranged it from the beginning. Never mind that, I understand. So put in some effort here. I repeat again, this slide, what I am displaying before you is actually a slide which I call in the previous video as the Google map of clean air regulation. And this is the master key of how one can use and apply the clean air regulations to all kinds of industry. Remember, the first question that we have to ask ourselves is whether or not our activity or our factory processes or our premise is subscribing to the first schedule. Ask this question first. Remember that, especially auditors. Competent person, I don't worry about you. You are much well trained. I hope competent persons eventually you become auditors, okay? And also environmental consultants. Now, when our activity is listed in the first schedule of Regulation 13, Clean Air Regulations 2014, automatically under the first paragraph of Regulation 13 stipulated that what? Our emission standard shall be stipulated in what is called third schedule. Now, the Clean Air Regulations has got several schedules. Schedule 1, which listed the types of premises and industrial activity there, and then Schedule 2 for huge genset. There you are. Huge fuel burning equipment. This is second schedule. And then we've got the third schedule, which is actually the environmental emissions standard for activities listed in the first schedule. And then you got fourth schedule for other factories which are not listed in the first schedule. We have got the fifth schedule, which is also for other industry which are not listed in the first schedule. And the fourth schedule is about dioxin and furan. And the fifth schedule is about hazardous emissions. Now, let me remind you, in the third schedule for the activities listed in the first schedule, this one, all right, it does contain, other than sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, total particulate matter, it does contain hazardous volatile organic carbon, such as non-methane volatile organic carbon, which is actually hazardous emission. And it also contains, for some or several related activities, parameters like dioxin and furan, normally described as polychlorinated dibenzodioxin and polychlorinated dibenzofuran. So it's all covered in the third schedule for activities listed in the first schedule. So they don't have activity. What I mean is, those in the first schedule doesn't have to refer the fourth and fifth schedule anymore. Got it? And those other industries which is subscribing to fourth schedule and fifth schedule don't have to refer to third schedule. Okay, but second schedule, we're going to discuss that. There's some, as the case may be stated, there's some situations that we need to discuss. All right, can I go on giving you a recap of what we have done so far, and today we are here. We are here. This is actually A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we are under the law, supposedly G over here. All right, we are going to discuss stationary asphalt mixing plants. What are their emissions? And before I forget, please remember that for this particular asphalt mixing plants, we have got certain parameters. Let us take a look. Let's take a look. If you're ready, let's take a look at that particular slide where it is our concern. Now, look, we have these asphalt mixing plants is the stationary type, not the mobile type, stationary type. And they move from plot to plot based on projects. You could see now in, for example, the construction of highway. Pan Borneo is another good example. You can take a look. They've got asphalt, bitumen road mixture plants, stationary at some of the stages. They call it portal. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. And they are emitting what they call some form of air impurities. Now, nonetheless, if these asphalt mixing plant uses liquid or gas fuel, look, this law is categorizing the parameters of environmental emission, the concentration of this air pollutant from asphalt mixing plants based on the type of fuel that they are using for that plant. It's a bit different from the others, right? Got it? And liquid and gas fuel, and of course there's another type, solid fuel, probably coal, probably wood chips. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are several variants out there. Now look, however, the parameters, you got to be careful. Look, this is carbon monoxide. Everybody knows about it. This is total particulate matter, and this is non-methane volatile organic carbon. Got it? Now, let's take a look at the first situation. If these asphalt mixing plants are using liquid or gas, it could be diesel, it could be light fuel oil, which is liquid, all right, which is for example, medium fuel oil is liquid, and even heavy fuel oil is considered liquid, depending on what is available to them and what is economically viable for their project. Look, all three parameters apply. Let's take a look at the first one. Let's take a look at liquid and gas. Now, look at this. Carbon monoxide from liquid and gas is how much? It must be less than 0.5. Watch out for the unit. And this unit now is in gram per cubic meter. Let me double check. Yes. Carbon monoxide is in gram per cubic meter. So if you are a competent person, if you are a consultant especially, and even auditors, please watch out for the inconsistent use of what you call units for each parameter. This is in gram per meter cube. Unlike total particulate matter, it is 50, not, it must be less than 50 milligram, not gram, milligram per cubic meter. And for non-methane volatile organic carbon, it has to be less than 50 milligram, which I think carbon monoxide is bigger in terms of the concentration. Now, how to break down carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide, how you could bring it down? By having higher, one option is by having higher combustion temperature, and by having more purified sort of fuel, cleaner fuel. But if you're talking about medium fuel oil, excuse me, if you're talking about light fuel oil, it's a high sulfur there. But despite using light fuel oil and medium fuel oil, if your feeding is good, multiple nozzle feeding, and you can maintain a higher temperature, enough to have adjusting the air fuel ratio to a certain level where you got almost complete combustion, you can bring down the carbon monoxide. Okay, definitely. Those who are operating these machines knows much better than I do. Mechanical engineers, you know this better than I do. All right. Now, let's take a look if they're using solid fuel. If these asphalt mixing plants uses solid fuel, commonly what I found in the field, they would opt to use coal. As far as I've seen operating, some are using some other kinds of solid fuel. There was one which was I can't remember, but it was using some form of. They've got an auxiliary fuel, which is highly combustible. They add in like what do you call it, sawdust to add in as an additive, not as the main fuel. That is all considered to be solid fuel, and their emission for carbon monoxide is less than 1 gram per cubic meter. The emission for total particulate matter is less than 50 milligram per cubic meter, and their emission of non-volatile organic non-methane volatile organic carbon shall be less than 50 50 milligram per cubic meter. So this is the standard for asphalt mixing plants that you have all around us, and I hope in the very near future we are going to substitute them with recycled plastic pallets, as I have already displayed before many of you in my public training on waste management ultimate. I think you saw the video, and I hope it is being done here in this country. I hope somebody would take up that, converting waste plastic into pallets and to be used in making roads. As we are speaking today, there are efforts by the government to produce latex or rubberized tar, which is good. That would increase the demand for our local latex and rubber products, and so that our rubber plantations has got a higher economic value. Let's pray for all these people, all the good effort done. On top of that, we do have existing problem with plastic. Let's build road from plastic waste, so that we do not depend so much on bitumen, and we can reduce the demand of that particular material, and it would be used for some other purposes. All right, definitely. Now, what is the concern here? The non-methane volatile organic carbon. I have done a little bit of research. Now, this old man can't stand reading more than 2 hours. I have to stop, but I did gather some papers, about 7 of them, and I could see there's a consistent inference on materials like naphthalene. Many of these scholars, many of these researchers mention naphthalene as a constituent in bitumen, asphalt, okay? And they are aromatics, hydrocarbon, all right? I think chemical engineer, you know this very well, all right? Aromatic hydrocarbons, and look, it has got hydrogenated polycyclic aromatic compounds. What does it mean? Volatile. What does it mean? Aromatic hydrocarbons, usually associated to carcinogenicity. You could ask our friends who are experts in industrial hygiene. Okay, they know. Or you consult industrial hygienists. For me, I consulted eco-toxicologists and toxicologists, and they gave the same answer. So the papers that I read were from them. All right, and there are other things. The higher molecular weight of, remember this, phenols and carboxylic acid, and these are constituents, and these are usually, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not good at drawing. This is a benzene ring. I'm trying to draw it here. Okay, yeah, it turned out to be something else. I'm sorry. So we have got an O, and what's this? Phenol. This is the basic structure of benzene with hydroxyl group, and that is phenol. And everybody knows phenolic compounds are carcinogenic, and we use it to make roads. It's on the road. And when we when we use road, have we asked for any SDS before this? And when we pay for our toll, our toll at the toll booth, plus highway and all other highways, is there anything mentioned about, okay, you are driving on a brand new highway which is just resurfaced, please beware that the highway that you're driving shall release non-methane volatile organic carbon, such as phenolic groups, as much as 70 milligram per cubic meter. We have not seen that, isn't it? So, okay. So I hope we understand. Sometimes in the course of our studying and our how we lead our normal life, we tend to forget about all this. We tend to forget about all this, and when we come to work, we all this knowledge doesn't get into that high level of priority in terms of our concerns. Okay, our concern today, you and me, of course, to ensure that we are able to bring food on the dinner table. That's the first thing. Able to pay for our bills, bills and bills. Okay, and here we are in a state of austerity as far as COVID-19 impact to us is concerned. We are shrinking in terms of our revenue and income, and we are trying our best to make the best out of the least. Got it? So this is what we're doing. We share knowledge, and with knowledge, I hope you're able to compete at a higher level with other than Malaysians who come down here, and I believe for you, you are able to use this knowledge in your work and to study further, not just getting knowledge from me. I am not a person who knows everything under the sky. I'm still learning, so I'm expecting you to be learning more at a higher rate than I am. But back to this, look, what is this? Saturated hydrocarbon. And what are they? This is even more volatile. Got it? That is even more volatile. And you can smell it. And on top of that, it has got some flash point, but quite high. And look, again, you got heterocyclic compounds, 2,4,6-trimethylpyridine. You may have you can have a methyl group here, perhaps. Okay. My drawing is bad. And structure of pyridine. These are cyclic compounds, and it can be toluene, it can be isomers. It could be CH3 down here, or you can have one chain, one linear chain stretching maybe from here. All right. Okay. It depends. All these are transformations depending on heat and availability of oxygen and other higher oxidative state compounds. And what does it make? 2,4,6 trimethyl pyridine. Okay, and we are driving on it. Okay, we are driving on it. So this is the reason why asphalt plant must be regulated for the carbon monoxide, total particulate matter, because total particulate matter has got some surface tension with many other impurities, even heavy metals, even VOCs. But if you look at the VOCs, what I have down here, these are all the VOCs. Naphthalene, pyridine, xylene, toluene, it can be there. Okay, at different temperature, it just get shifted from one compound to another based on temperature, based on pressure. Okay, so I believe this is the reason why asphalt mixing plant, stationary processes or projects, their releases into the environment is of a concern under this law, under third schedule, because their activities is considered to be significant and listed under the first schedule of the Clean Air Regulation. Well, I hope that is all about the G part of stationary asphalt mixing plants that we could share together. I hope this is adequate for your understanding, all right, especially auditors, consultants, and competent person. I hope you are able to share this with your other colleagues. All right, knowledge sharing, you will get the benefit. You'll get the payback, all right? Don't worry about it. We have to build this nation again, all right? And you and me, we are stuck in this generation. We are stuck in this situation. We have got to find ways in order for us to do better. So one way that I can contribute is by sharing you all this. That's the best I could do at this age. I don't walk that fast anymore. I don't swim 1,000 meter in 23 minutes, my personal best. But no, I'm slow, but I'm going on in my studies, and I do still keep up with my studies every day. Well, 2 or 3 times a week, almost every day then. So I hope you do better than me. Again, thank you for your subscription. If you have not subscribed, do not hesitate. All right, have a good conscience. Be kind enough to subscribe and share it with your friends, and then discuss among your friends, not just listening to me and swallow. Discuss this video with your friends. You will get more knowledge. All right, so till then, till the next video, thank you for your attention. uh, I'm hereby wishing everybody assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.